Hey everyone, how are you? It is Sunday nights with Ping. This is totally 9 o'clock. I am not late. You're late. I'm not late. It's totally 9 o'clock. How are you, everyone in the chat? DJ was here at first. Same with I Hate Mornings. Bees are life. Bees are life. How are you? Yep, another Maria is here. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. How are you? He says, 707 subs. Yes, that is so cool. I didn't even know. That is awesome. I'm very, very happy with that. 707. Sounds like we're a jumbo jet. How are you, everyone? Marilyn Landis. Hey, Marilyn Landis. Snap Crackle Pop is here. Same with Gambler, Peekaboo Cockatiel, Cheryl Huffman, Marlene Clausen, Laura T. Ginger Porter's here too. Good to see you. Woos is here as well. Well, I'm glad some of you 707 could be here. That is really cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. That is a cool milestone. On to 800 and then on to 1,000. Vegemite Smile, how are you, my friend? Beth B, hey, good to have you. I always love that photo of the dog. It's so cute. It's so puffy. Uh, let's what are we going to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? We got heaps of stories to catch up to tonight. I have an update about our relative who was killed in Arizona. The story we were sent was the incorrect one. So we were like, police, why won't you help us? The story about our relative is in a different article. He still passed away and he was killed, but some of the stories got mixed up from coming from America to here and then grapevine through the family. So I will show you that story in a minute, but yeah, he died after a black car hit his car and killed him. He was the sole occupant, unfortunately. So I will show you that one at some point tonight. Where is the story I want to show you? Is it this one? Let's have a look. Yes, we'll start with this, and I'll say hello to a few more people. Hey, Linda, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. Good to have you. How was the kitty who was vomiting? She's fine. She had a hairball. She does that. She's a long-furred cat, so she tends to do that. Even though we brush her like a million times a day, she still seems to do it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Zelda. Suffering pain from my EDS. I'm sorry about that. Doesn't sound like fun. Hey, Nancy S. and Lindy. Happy birthday to the baby goats. Aw, isn't that cute? Hey, Laurie. Good to have you. Yeah, so we thought he was a pedestrian, but it's actually he was in a car. He was in a car. Hold on. So it says police are investigating a fatal collision which left an 87-year-old man dead on Saturday in North Phoenix. The collision occurred around 11:30 a.m. southwest of where Route 51 meets Loop 101. Officers found two vehicles with extensive damage when they arrived to the scene. According to authorities, the driver of the teal vehicle, 87-year-old, I'm going to say IT, was suffering from life-threatening injuries and transported to hospital. He later died of his injuries at hospital, while the driver and passenger of the black vehicle did not sustain any serious injuries. The driver showed no signs of impairment. Detectives who responded to the incident learned that the black vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed northbound on 32nd Street when it collided with the victim's vehicle, which was turning left from Bear End Drive and 32nd onto 32nd Street. So he got T-boned and from a car that was speeding. So there you go. That's how our relative unfortunately died in a traffic accident in Arizona. Hey Lux, how are you? Yeah, it sucks. It's not. I know that the rest of the family, especially the older family, are definitely really upset. Good to see everyone. Thank you. That's very kind. I can't say I knew him that well, but the other family, like the older generation, knew him better than I did. It's still a family member, I guess. It's still horrible, And the fact that I don't think they said they arrested the guy, but I don't think. Oh, authorities will make a decision on any possible charges once the investigation is complete. So they're still investigating it, but because they were speeding and they hit hit our relative's car that was turning, I think they will be charged with something. You would hope so anyway. Hey, Laura T. Oh, that's a good hint. Zelda says smear coconut oil on your kitty's tummy every few days for hairballs. I have 4 ragdolls that very furry get hairballs. Thank you. That's a good tip. I will do that. I will do that because she suffers from bad hairballs, unfortunately. You guys are very kind. I will definitely pass that along. All right. So I came across this story in the press, and I can't say I was ever aware of this, but this seems to be another one of someone being stupid with a gun. It says, coward, Kevin Monahan gets decades in prison for killing Caitlin Gillis. It says the Hebron man sentenced to 26 and a third years to life for the murder of the 20-year-old woman as she sat in her SUV that accidentally pulled into his driveway. So he shot and killed her, fired 2 shots from his shotgun, and killed this woman just because she pulled into his driveway. It says a Washington County judge sentenced Kevin Monahan to the maximum 26 and a third years to life in state prison Friday for the murder of 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis outside his home, calling the shotgun-wielding homeowner an unremorseful and dishonest killer capable of repeating his ghastly crime. She said, with you, I really think you could do the same thing again, noting that while most convicted murderers have a low rate of recidivism, Monahan appeared to be an exception. It's obvious to me that you feel justified. You don't take any responsibility for the outcome of your actions. You just don't get it. On April 15th, Monahan fired 2 slugs from a 20 gauge shotgun that killed the Schuylerville woman as she sat in the passenger seat of her Ford Explorer with her boyfriend Blake Walsh and 2 friends outside the gunman's rural home on Patterson Hill Road, in Hebron. Gillis and Walsh were among 7 friends in their early 20s and late teens traveling in 2 vehicles and a motorcycle to find a party. They mistakenly turned up to Monahan's driveway about 9:45 p.m. It says the second of Monahan's 2 gunshots from a 20 gauge shotgun ripped through the Ford Explorer and struck Gillis in the neck. Walsh, who was driving the SUV, and 2 friends, Jacob Haynes and Alexandra Whiting, who were in the back seat, tried frantically to call 911 but had trouble completing the call, initially due to poor cell phone reception in the area. They drove to Cemetery Road in Salem, where emergency workers tried to save Gillis, but she was pronounced dead. On January 23rd, jurors convicted Monahan after deliberating for about 2 hours on all charges, which included second-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and tampering with evidence. On Friday, Monahan declined to speak before being sentenced, prompting someone in the courtroom to exclaim, "Coward!" As deputies escorted Monahan away in handcuffs, the courtroom full of victims' loved ones cheered, hugging each other and wiping tears away. The victim's father, Andrew, and many others who cherished his daughter wore shirts in her memory to the sentencing. Gillis described his daughter as the family's pride and joy, a vibrant and compassionate young woman with a contagious smile and a kind heart who was full of aspirations. But due to Monahan's heinous and callous actions, he said his daughter's future milestones have been abruptly and senselessly taken away and replaced with devastating pain over her absence for his slain child's family and large circle of friends. Losing her has left us with an indescribable void in our life, one that can never be filled, he said. Every day we wake up to the harsh reality she is no longer here, and we will never see her beautiful face, hear her laughter, or simply be able to hug her. Turning to Monahan, the father reminded his daughter's killer that after firing the deadly shots, you were deceitful, you hid from the truth, and you'd never shown remorse. He failed to take he failed to take blame for his actions and tried to shift the blame. This is what sealed your fate. Our hope is that your actions will haunt you for the rest of your life. Yeah, they were saying this guy tried to dodge like any accountability, any responsibility, tried to act like he was in the right for defending his property. I mean, defending your property is one thing, but it's a car that just went the wrong way. It's not that much of a threat to you, is it? It's not like there's a gang of people coming to your home. He was definitely in the wrong, and the fact that all through this trial he wouldn't take in like any responsibility. I mean, you get a judge that mad that she makes a little like sentence just for you, saying how selfish you are. You know you're going to be in trouble. It says one Washington County District Attorney Tony Jordan and First Assistant District Attorney Christian P. Morris said Monahan, with a depraved indifference to human life, fired the deadly shots. Monahan, represented by Arthur Frost and Kurt Morset, claimed it was an accident that was the result of fears he and his wife Jinx could fall prey to crime. On the night of the shooting, Monahan suggested to a 911 operator that hunters were possibly at his property. When a police officer investigating the shooting arrived at Monahan's home to respond to the shooting, Monahan claimed he had been sound asleep and that nothing happened. On Friday, Walsh told the killer that everyone knows what happened on the night of April 15th, despite Monahan's effort to hide the truth. We all know that this was not an accident. He told Monahan he killed a sweet, loving soul who was the antithesis of her killer. I'll never be able to forgive you for your actions. I wouldn't even think about it, Walsh told Monahan. Words can't describe how happy I am for the justice system seeing this decision the way it is, but if it were my decision, you'd be under the jail. Whiting said the loss of her best friend is constantly in her thoughts. Some people say an eye for an eye or a life for a life, but you still get to wake up every morning, breathe, experiencing life, even if not in the same form as before. By contrast, she said Gillis will never awake, and her friends can never experience her in their lives again. I have so much hate for you, but once in a while I caught myself feeling slightly bad for you, wondering what made you turn out this way and why, and wondering if you chose to feel guilt for what you did. But then I remembered that nothing made you do it, and your life circumstances, if any, aren't an excuse. You made a decision that altered all of our lives forever in a horrible way. I think she did a great job expressing that. I think she did a great job. That was her best friend. I think she really uh, memorialized what it's like to lose a best friend. I think that was well done by her. Whiting spoke of losing Gills and the conversations they had. Whiting was in the back seat when her best friend was shot. She said she faces constant worry that something will happen to a loved one and is terrified of getting into an argument that will result in her being killed. I live in fear every day. Frost insisted Monahan is remorseful and knows that because of his actions, this poor young woman is dead. Morris said that the public needs to know that the justice system will address a wrong, such as Monahan's crime. He called Monahan, I said Monahan with an N. You can just blame it on my Spanish. Who testified the gun fired by accident. He called him a manipulator who shamelessly continued to spread a lie. He said Monahan was a thief for stealing the innocence of the victims of his crime. And ultimately, he said Monahan was a murderer who showed a depraved indifference to human life. Hate and anger are the only things I can think of that can explain a mindset that is murderous in nature, the prosecutor said. To the person who is merciless, no mercy should be shown. How could there be mercy for someone so merciless? He makes a point. So there you go. How horrible. So he's going to go away for uh, 25 or 26 years to life. So the judge, Michelini, opposed a sentence of 25 years to life, plus a consecutive term of 1 1/3 to 4 years for Monahan's evidence tampering. The clearly disgusted judge reminded Monahan that when he testified in his defense, Monahan cracked a joke to jurors, then mentioned his plans to continue work on his Hebron home and return to his former career as an off-road motorcycle racer. So you can tell he took the trial super seriously and he was super remorseful. No, he wasn't. What was he doing? talking about how he's going to return to his former career and his life. That's a great way to get a jury to, help you in a murder trial. It says here, you senselessly took the life of Kaylin Gillis, and you have the gall to sit here and talk about how you plan to finish the work on your house and race motocross in the future. You don't deserve that, Michelini told Monahan. You murdered Kaylin Gillis, you shot at a car full of people, and you didn't care what happened, and you repeatedly lied about it. You deserve to spend the maximum time in prison allowable under the law. There you go. What they gave it to him. I think they really showed him what was what. They weren't buying none of his rubbish. Hey, Diane Marie, how are you? Ah, Snap Crackle Pop, that's horrible. Very well articulated statement, heartfelt for sure. Yeah, I think she did a great job. I think that would not have been very easy to talk about a friend's death at such a young age. Ah, Lindy says, I had to have my dog Nala euthanized this morning. Beyond devastated, not doing well at all. I'm so glad Ping and all of you here. It helps a lot. Lindy, I'm so sorry. Losing a pet is never easy. I mean, they're part of our families. They help us every day. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lynn. It's horrible. I hope we can take your mind off it with some crime stories. And Snapcrackle Pop says, lost my best friend to a heart attack. March is off to a rough start for people, isn't it? For everyone. I hope the second part of March is a little nicer for people. I just want to find if we can find anything on Kevin Monahan. No M, N at the end. It's Monahan, not Monahan. Or he might be a ham. We don't know yet. Yeah, let's listen to the judge actually. Instead of me speaking it, let's listen to the judge, lay the smackdown on this guy.
First, I really want to thank those of you who came up here today and gave victim impact statements. It was very important for me to hear those, and they're taken into account in my sentencing decision, and I want you to know that. So when I'm sentencing a defendant as a judge, there's certain principles that I think about. Attorney Morris touched on one, general deterrence. And that is sending a message to society at large that there's certain behaviors that will not be tolerated. And Mr. Gillis spoke to this in his victim impact statement. He said such acts of violence will not be tolerated in our society. I think it's important that people know that it is not okay to shoot people and kill them who drive down your driveway. I know in the county where we live and probably other countless rural areas, it's a pretty common occurrence to drive down a wrong driveway. It's a common occurrence for somebody to come down your driveway. And there's definite choices that you get to make at this time. And the choice made in this case is absolutely not acceptable. Then I'm also guided by the principle of specific deterrence. Specific deterrence is directed directly at the defendant. It's saying, basically, you need to be prevented from doing things in the future. And Mr. Monahan, I think if you were released from prison, and people who commit murder generally don't recidivate a lot. They don't commit the same crime again. It's a low rate of recidivism. But with you, I think you really could possibly do the same thing again. It's obvious to me that you feel justified. You don't take any responsibility for the outcome of your actions. You just don't get it. The first thing you do on the witness stand when you come up here and testify is you made a joke to the jury about them finally being able to see your face. You senselessly took the life of Kaylin Gillis, and you have the gall to sit here and talk about how you plan to finish up work on your house and race motocross in the future. You don't deserve that. What would make you think that you deserve those things? Even when your attorney tried to get you to acknowledge that your home wasn't being invaded, you couldn't do it. You hesitated and said something to the effect of, It sure felt like we were being invaded. He was trying to elicit out of you a response that somebody who took responsibility for their actions would have. And you couldn't even do that. Your first instinct was to lie about what happened, and you repeatedly lied in such a cold and calculating manner. And the jury saw right through your lies, and they rejected them. In killing Kaylin Gillis, you took away a friend, you took away a girlfriend, you took away a daughter, a granddaughter, and a sibling. You took away so much unrealized potential, her potential to enrich other people's lives and to contribute to our society. You also traumatized the young men and women who mistakenly drove up your driveway that night. You will scar them. This will scar them and traumatize them for the rest of their lives. Any remorse you have isn't for the harm you've caused. The only regret you have is that you're finally facing the consequences for your actions. You murdered Kaylin Gillis. You shot at a car full of people, and you didn't care what would happen, and you repeatedly lied about it. You deserve to spend the maximum time in prison allowable under our law. And I don't make this decision because it's easy. I make it because it's what's deserved. I make it because it's what's just. So as to the conviction of murder in the second degree, I sentence you to a term of 25 years to life in prison. For the conviction of reckless endangerment in the first degree, I'm following the law. I'm going to sentence you to a concurrent 2 1/3 to 7-year period of incarceration. As to tampering with physical evidence conviction, I can see why a court, might perhaps go along with concurrent because you received a 25-year life sentence to begin with. But there was a delay. There was a lot of time you had between when the police showed up and you tampered with evidence. You had a lot of time to concoct lies. You had a lot of time to do things to the weapon, to tamper with it, basically, to try and destroy evidence. And because of that time that you had to think of those things and the conscious efforts that you made to tamper with that evidence, I think it is right that you receive a consecutive term of incarceration for that charge. So that's a 1 1/3 to 4 years of imprisonment. There is a matter of a $300 surcharge, $25 crime victim assistance fee, and a $50 DNA fee. Attorney Frost, is your client in a position to pay those funds now?
Not today, Your Honor.
Okay. And then we also have a couple pieces of paperwork that need to be gone over. One is a signature to.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to let them do there's a whole bunch of court stuff they do near the end, like we have to sign this and do this. Let me just see if there's any victim impact at the end. I don't think so. Look at his face. Does this look like a man who is sorry for his actions? I don't think so. I think this is a man who probably lived his life, doing whatever the hell he felt like he could do, and didn't matter what people he harmed or what his actions did to other people. And it just so happened that night he took another step too far and killed an innocent woman. She was just got lost. Everyone gets lost. I've got lost. You guys have got lost while driving. She didn't deserve to be shot by this man for a mistake of where she drove her car. He wasn't being invaded. That judge did an amazing job. And I love that he wouldn't give a concurrent sentence. He made him serve all of it. He's like, for the tampering with evidence, he's like, I could let you serve it both at the same time with your main sentence, but no, you had so much time to think about your actions before police arrived. This could have been so different. Not saying he would have ever got off, but his sentence may have been a lot less had from the moment the police got there, he showed remorse and was like, holy crap, I made a huge mistake. I was fear of my life. I thought people were coming into the property to attack us, and I can't believe I've done this. It would have all been on camera. He could have tried to call emergency services, we see this a lot in murder cases, and he didn't do any of that. Instead, he tried to hide evidence and try to manipulate evidence. And that's why he gets the maximum. That's why he has to serve all the sentences back to back and not at the same time. It shows you how callous he was for what he did to that young woman. And I think the judge was 100% right. It's great to see a judge do that, and he was great to listen to. Yeah, especially when they live in alone, or like they get a us versus the world mentality from living in their home and secluding other people. That's why we need to socialize and uh, have friends and go to family and go out into the world. It's so we don't become paranoid people that live in our home and put up walls. Yeah. Red Like One says, we have ditches around here and it can be risky to turn around in the street, but I'd rather end up in a ditch than turn around in some nutbag's driveway. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the judge did a great job. Loved hearing that. I don't think there's anything else. Hold on.
We'll get to you. There is a matter of $300 remand to the custody of the Washington County Jail. Then you'll be transferred to the custody of the New York State Department of Corrections for service of your sentence. We're concluded.
You could hear the family there cheering as he is led away to go serve his multiple decades sentence for killing their daughter and friend. There you go. That is justice served. I think that is, it's nice to see where justice is done correctly sometimes. We talk so much about poor sentencing or people being let off, but this time I think they got it right and did it to the maximum of the law allowable. So there you go. Well said, Jed, yeah. Lux says, I've turned around in driveways many times. We all have. It's the only way to turn around in some cul-de-sacs and streets. You have to. A lot of these streets are only 1.5 cars wide, or there's people parked on either side. You have to go into driveways sometimes. It's just a fact of life. No one should be shot for turning into a driveway and getting lost. Hopefully, it sends a message to everyone out there. What a send-off. I know, right? Oh, that's a nice thing. Another cat is not a replacement. It is a way to help another cat in her honor. You know, the way we thought about it when our other cat died is that we wanted our cat Spirit to have a friend, and we wanted her to have a living cat friend to kind of hang out with. So that's why we ended up getting the other cat, was so that she wasn't alone in the spirit world. Thanks, Mary L. Good to have you here. Hey, Holly. Oh. Holly says, I turned around in a drive once in Oregon, and the guy followed me in my car, and he threatened to shoot me and my babies that were in the car. That's horrible. Oh, that would have been so scary, Holly. Holly, thanks for sharing that story in the chat. I do appreciate it. Good to see you here, by the way, too. Thanks, Holly. Such a pretty name. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Good to see you. Marilyn Landis is saying hello to people. Okay, so I wanted to, because I've been a little bit under the weather recently, I've been a little slack in replying to people's comments after the videos. I take 100% responsibility, and I'm sorry. But I want to highlight, I will get better at it now that I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I want to read out someone's comment that they left last night on last night's video. Where is it? Where is her lovely comment? If I can find it. Here. It's someone I don't know. I've never seen this person in the chat before. And she was talking about the Madeline Soto case. And her name is Metal Mama Sue. Metal Mama Sue, hey, thanks for being here at the channel. I appreciate it. And I see your comment. It says, 100% right. I get bad vibes from both of them. She's talking about the parents. And now we know the boyfriend is locked up. Their mother is acting like she's discussing a missing household item. My God, what is wrong with people? Poor Maddie. Thank you for leaving a comment last night. I do appreciate it. And Yeah, thanks for being on the channel. Hey, LMS, how are you? LMS says, I do third-party deliveries and I'm going to some very questionable places, even places with private property or even more threatening signs, but they order and we have to deliver. Can be scary. Yeah, who's to say it wasn't like an Uber Eats delivery or DoorDash or something like that? Yeah, I mean, you can't just shoot at people because they're in your driveway. It's ridiculous. It's a flawed sense of mental state. It really is. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, hey, LMS. How are you? Yeah, Australia still has some weirdos, so I promise you. Okay. Bizarre Life said, I'm glad he got the max sentence. When I first heard of the case, it gave me the S word. Yep, it certainly did. Oh, that's nice. Marlene says, I donate to the local feral cat fixing group in her other pet's honor. That's really nice. Red Like Wine says, some people become very territorial like effing dogs. Yes, they do. All right, let's go to the next story. I want to talk about Sebastian. Let's talk about Sebastian. Where is it? Yeah. Look at this. Over 300 volunteers are searching for Sebastian Rogers this weekend. How awesome is that to hear? So many people taking time out of their weekend or their day to come and search for him. Let's listen to the video.
It's day 7 of the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. This weekend, efforts to find him have ramped up. Good evening. I'm Emily Luxon. For the last week, we have followed the latest developments on the search for the missing teen who has autism. Our Nikki Hauser has been at the command center in Sumner County all day. Nikki, there are hundreds more people out there searching for Sebastian this weekend.
Exactly. Emily, I'm told that close to 300 trained search and rescue volunteers have been out here on the ground all day trying to find Sebastian. That's hundreds more than the 80 or so that we saw during the week. Now, this weekend, the National Guard was called in. TBI has been involved all week, and agencies from Wilson, Knox, and Williamson counties are all here to help Sumner County. They all want you to know they are all over this area, checking and double checking every inch of space. All week, they've used specialized technology, canines, and sheer manpower to cover the ground here. TBI has been involved, and the county has been talking to the FBI as well on advice for how to move forward here. And the community has been asked to both check their properties and check their video camera footage from Sunday to Monday. Everybody has the same goal. Sumner County Fire saying at this time, try not to get in the way of the professionals.
The agencies have been training for things like this for years. They have the Emergency Management Association of all of the different counties in any state. This is what they do. They are ready for these kind of events. They just ask for patience of everybody to let them do what they've been trained to do.
Now, they are wrapping up search operations for today. I'm told they'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, but that they are going to be scaling back some of the search operations going into this week. We'll let you know updates as we hear more, but as of now,
Not great to hear that they'll be scaling down search operations. That's pretty normal. You saw it happen with the Samantha Murphy case as well. Once they get to that week mark, they start removing assets, unfortunately. They can't search forever. It costs so much money. And it's a shame that it's based on money and resources. Marlene Clausen said, children go missing in Tennessee often. Yes, there was something that I was going to show you. Hold on. There was an article they put out during the week, which was, where is it? Yeah. There was a video and article here. WKRN News 2 in Tennessee. Here, pause that. The TBI, which is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, are still investigating 6 Amber Alerts. 6. They've still got 6 they haven't been able to scale back. And they are Kennedy Hoyle. Is that Chloe Leverett? Gage Daniel? Zaylee Grace Fryer? And Summer Wells. We know who Summer Wells is. They are the 6 that are still outstanding on their books, apparently. And it says, while authorities continue their search for these kids, advocacy groups have sprung up to help in the efforts nationwide. This includes Light the Way Missing Persons Advocacy Project. The organization serves families from coast to coast with loved ones who have still not been found in making sure their message is still circulating. That's a great project. What a great little pop-up. But yeah, they still have 6 kids who have not been found. I'll show you this little 1-minute video here about it.
Tirelessly to find missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers. But Sebastian is not the only missing child authorities are looking for. There are other active Amber Alerts for children across the state. News 2's Corey Johnson is joining us in the studio with the details on those. Corey.
That's right, Haley. There are currently a total of 6 Amber Alerts active in the state. Half of those are connected to Middle Tennessee. Now, while Sebastian is the most recent, there are other cases that date back more than a decade. They include Kennedy Hoyle, Summer Wells, Chloe Leverett, Gage Daniel, and Zaylee Grace Fryer, a 4-month-old missing from Millersville since 2011. While authorities continue their search for these kids, advocacy groups have also sprung up to help in the efforts nationwide. This includes the Light the Way Missing Persons Advocacy Project. The nonprofit serves families from coast to coast with loved ones who still have not been found and making sure that their messaging is still circulating.
As life moves on for everyone else, it doesn't move on from them. They're stuck in this gray zone, the day that changed their lives forever. Our organization really tries to do that by making sure that these stories are still out there, whether that be connecting with media on important dates like their birthdays or the missing, the yearly missing date.
Anyone with information on any of Tennessee's missing children is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. And coming up on News 2.
There you go. Look at all those little children that are still outstanding in Tennessee. They're Amber Alerts that were never solved. How sad. I'm sure there's hundreds of more that over the years have not been solved, but they're the 6 that they're still looking for. Hey, Julie Moskowitz, how are you? It is really lovely to see you. And I'm glad you could pop in the cat. I'm glad you could pop in the cat. No, that's not right, Ping. I'm glad you could pop in the chat. That's better. Don't pop in the cat. I don't think that's a good idea. But it's great to see you, Julie. It really is. And yeah, it is really nice to see you. Let's talk about this. Once we hit the 7-day mark tomorrow, like they said, they're going to scale down the search, unfortunately. And I think that's why they had the 300 people out this weekend to try and give one big push at the end to try and see if they could find anything about Sebastian. I'm sure there might be a smaller group still searching throughout the week, but I don't think you're going to see like those, huge groups anymore. It's really sad. Where is he? It says Sebastian is a 15-year-old teen with autism, and the TBI released an endangered child alert for his disappearance on February 26th. Ever since then, we have been closely following any updates from officials regarding his whereabouts and safety. We found out from officials that Sumner County is working alongside the TBI all week and consulting the FBI for the next steps. The National Guard was called in to help find him on Saturday and Sunday, as well as agencies from nearby Wilson, Knox, Williamson counties. They joined the Tennessee Association of Rescue Squads and dozens of other agencies that have assisted Sumner County in this search. They want you to know they are all over this area, checking and double-checking every inch of space to find Sebastian. All week they've used specialized technology, canines, sheer manpower to cover the ground here. Police are asking the community to keep checking their property and check for any camera footage from Sunday to Monday. The agencies have been training for something like this for years. The Emergency Management Association of all different counties in the state, and this is what they do. They are ready for these kind of events. They just ask for patience and to let them do what they've been trained to do. We know you care about this boy and want to help. They say anyone can drop off any energy drinks or water to the volunteers at Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department to keep them going in this search. So if you live nearby and you want to drop in anything to help search efforts, like for a drink, or you want to drop off a slab of like Gatorade or something like that, so they can keep their hydration up while they're searching, you can drop it off at Shackle Island Fire Department. So, Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department, and they will happily take your donation. That would be very kind of you. I know we do have some people in Tennessee, but I don't know if they're in that particular area. I want to see what this is. This looks like a photo of him with someone. Let's have a look.
Out of jail last night, the other for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who hasn't been seen in 5 days. Good evening. I'm Emily Luxon. Search crews have been out all week.
I just wanted to see those photos. We've seen that one before, but there was one with a lady. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. Has anyone seen that this one before? With is that teachers from his school? I don't think I've ever seen that one. That kid there looks sort of different from the other photos. Like his face looks a little different, and he's a little smaller than I thought he was in the trophy photo and things like that. So it's great that they've released some alternate photos, because you might not be able to recognize him from the other ones. That's a pretty good one, actually. This video is old. It's from day 5, so it probably doesn't have any newer information for us. But that photo is really cool. I've never seen that one before. Yeah, 300 volunteers were out in the area. That's a lot of manpower. Let's see if... Yeah, there you go. That's sort of what they look like. There you go. Walking around in groups like that. I'm guessing that's the National Guard, dressed in their fatigues. You had a lot of people out looking for Sebastian. He is a good-looking kid, yeah. He looks very, very smart. Lisa said sometimes cats come and find us. They do. Aw, it's cute, Lux. But Popcorn says he's such a cutie. I know. The hope is that we can find him. How many days now? This would be day 7. Tomorrow will be day 8, I think. Just trying to read some of your comments. So many missing children everywhere. I know. So many. Danny says, oh, that's nice. Joey Brooklyn dedicated a sunset to Dr. Edward Moskowitz. It was really lovely. Isn't that cute? I know. We're all missing Dr. Ed. We really are. Yeah, we really are, Julie. So make sure you know that we're all thinking of you. The entire true crime world was a little low in spirits last weekend when we all found out, and we would definitely had you in our thoughts that weekend. Definitely. And today, and still, and next week. We will always keep you in our thoughts. Emma Roth. Hey, Emma Roth. How are you? Robin Lane. Robin Lane. Hey, Robin Lane. I didn't see you there. Hey, how are you? The Madeline Soto case is so terrible. Yeah, where did I find? I had something on her. Let me find it. Where is my Madeline Soto? Where's my Madeline Soto stuff? You guys want to talk about Madeline? We can do that. Hold on. Let me find it. I was watching a... No, that's not it. Although, while I'm searching for this, I will show you this. But while we have a little bit of a 2-second break. Did you guys see this on the weekend? 2 rare tornadoes touched down in Central California as storms pummel state. They had like a whole bunch of tornadoes touch down in California. Pretty rare. They don't happen that often in the California state. There's a few weeks every year where they sort of have an opportunity, and they got this really cool looking one. A little it destroyed some trees and some other stuff. Hold on. Where is my... I had the good article for us. Where is it? Aha, here we go. All right, here. I thought this was a nice one. Apparently, they set up memorials for her here. Is it streaming, that one? No. Here. There we go. I'll show you the memorials.
Right now on the Fox 35 News at 10, Mourning Maddie. Support continues to pour in for 13-year-old Maddie Soto after her body was found yesterday in Osceola County. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Manny Martinez. We have team coverage again tonight from the courtroom to a memorial. And it's Fox 35's Stephanie Bafmati that leads us off from where investigators found Maddie's body.
Residents set up this memorial along the road near where Maddie was found. I spoke with people who brought flowers here who say they never met Maddie, but were heartbroken to hear of her loss.
I don't even know the girl. I'm getting choked up, but it's just sad that it happened. She didn't deserve that.
Flowers, stuffed animals, and rosaries, all for Madeline Soto. Many in the community were shaken to hear of the 13-year-old's death, especially when her body was recovered in their neighborhood.
I felt devastated. I felt like it was something so messed up and nobody should ever go through that.
The Osceola County Sheriff's Office says a tip led law enforcement to her body off Hickory Tree Road Friday afternoon. Jason Garcia used to ride past there on the way to school.
It was definitely heartbreaking because it's like, you know, it's close by home. And when I actually saw where she was basically found, I was like, wow. Like, I used to take the bus every single morning and throughout this area. So it was something that, just broke my heart.
Madeline was found in a very rural part of Osceola County, only a few homes on this stretch of Hickory Tree Road. Deputies believe Maddie's mom's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, moved her body and is the prime suspect in her death. And that's what so many find so hard to stomach.
Nobody should be killed and thrown in the middle of nowhere.
It's something that shouldn't happen to no child out there. And it's like, why? Like, someone that could have a bright future.
Stearns, who is now behind bars, was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ Monday afternoon between 1 and 2:30 on Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road, which is near where her body was found. This man's family member caught a car driving past their home Monday afternoon on a home security camera that matched when and where Stearns was driving. He gave it to Kissimmee PD.
I believe the Kissimmee Police Department is going to make sure they have all the solid evidence that they can get to make sure that this man stays behind bars.
If you have any tips that may help.
I thought the memorial was very sweet, and I'm sure there's going to be bigger Madeline Soto memorials to come. There will probably be big ones later on. But yeah, I saw that video in our local news in Australia. They were talking about how they had set up along the road, they'd set up a little memorial. People were dropping off flowers and rosaries, and, it's an expression of grief and, expression of grief, but also understanding from the community that, this is a horrible thing that happened. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I just want to reply to this. Yeah. Sorry. I want to make sure I reply to this person for her. Oh, there we go. I've sent that off to you. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Gambler says one of the YouTubers I listen to who lives in Northern California along the coast said they were without power for 22 hours. I think he said they were having water spouts. Water spouts. Wow. The weather over here is crazy. Someone just said that there was snow in the desert. Where does that say that? Where I saw it. Oh, yes, here. Laura says, did you see all the snow in the Sierra Nevada? 15 feet of snow with more to come. Crazy, isn't it? The weather's gone a bit wacky. Yeah, I think we'll find out so much more about Madeline Soto's death and what her life was like before, before she was killed, unfortunately. I think we'll find out so much more. There hasn't been a lot of updates over the weekend. Hold on. I was hoping we might have seen a lot more, but we may not hear all that much more until his next court date. And then that'll probably be when we get a lot more information about her. Where was that one? There was someone that said it was from People magazine. Where is it? People questioning the video with the boyfriend with him in the background. Let me see if I can find it. Here. This might be it. There's a photo of Madeline. No, that's not the right one. I can't find it, but there was an article where they were also saying, I think a lot of people picked up on it. You know that video where the boyfriend's in the background? Everyone's now, after he's been arrested, is starting to pick up that that video was really strange and that it was like he was trying to control the mother from a distance. That's sort of what abusive partners do. They sort of hover and helicopter very close by when they're nervous about something like, I don't want her to say too much or I don't want her to say the wrong thing. And I think a lot of people were picking that up from that video. I don't think it was anything new. Oh, Maryland said I saw a Kohberger trial probably not till next year. That's yeah, it's probably going to get delayed. Coercive control. It definitely seems that way. Yeah, so when we have more about Madeline, I will bring it up and I will talk to you about it. This one I'd like to talk to you about. This needs some help from our true crime world. So it says Glendale police investigating bizarre disappearance of Native woman Cristelle Day. This story is really odd. It says Glendale police confirm they're investigating the disappearance of Cristelle Day, a 30-year-old Native woman who's been missing for nearly 2 months. Her family said they've spent months trying to get a missing persons report filed, only to be denied until they hired an attorney this week. That's odd, right? We know Day told her family she'd been a victim of domestic violence and was fearing for her safety, and then communications just dropped off around the new year. This case has been bizarre, and it has had bizarre twists and turns, including what happened to Day's family late on Thursday night. She's described as vibrant and bubbly, but Day's disappearance has left her family with some of their darkest days. They said 6 or 7 weeks is a very long time for somebody to be missing. Gomez is an attorney for the families that are part of the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Woman Crisis known as MMIW. Day moved to Glendale several years ago. Her family is still in Alaska, including her older sister Amanda, who told Gomez their family received a frantic Facebook message from Day on December 22nd. She said she needed help as soon as possible, that she wasn't safe and that he had been hurting her. Her family said she was in an abusive relationship. They called the police for a welfare check and were trying to get her a flight back home to Alaska. Glendale police reported Day told officers she was okay, but her family believes she just said that because her alleged abuser, her boyfriend, was next to her. At the end of January, Day's boyfriend reached out to her sister. He said he hadn't seen her in 3 weeks and he didn't know what to do. He needed help. Nobody has heard from her or seen her since. For more than a month, Day's family has been trying to file a missing persons report, but they claim they were told her case didn't meet the criteria. They retained Gomez as an attorney this week to help, and she immediately called Glendale police. And they said, a sergeant got on the phone with her. You've clearly waited enough time and things like that, so we will enter her as a missing person. That call was on Wednesday, and Glendale police confirmed to Arizona's family that this is now an open and active investigation. Her family and Darlene then blasted social media with pictures and videos about her case, and unexpectedly late Thursday night, Day's family received a call from an unknown man. Somebody did contact the family saying that they knew she was alive. They were allowed to talk to her for a moment, but then said she was busy and couldn't talk. So it was very suspicious. Hey, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like one of those AI scams. You know when like people take advantage of like vulnerable people like this? They try find a small recording of the person and then they manipulate it. Then they call the people and ask for money. Oh yeah, I know where she is. I can help you. Here, you can speak to her. Oh no, she's dropped off. Yeah, give us $20,000 and we'll get you home. Get her home to you. That sounds very much like a scam. Gomez says they don't know if that was artificial intelligence. Oh, there you go. Or her voice, if that was really her. But either way, they believe she's in grave danger. I believe this was a scam. That was definitely a scam. Someone trying to be an absolute disgusting human being by preying on a family who is desperate for information. If you're one of those type of people out there and you listen to this channel, you are a scumbag. Shouldn't do that. They said she could be a victim of human trafficking. She could be held against her will. These are all things that could have happened to her, said their attorney Gomez. Arizona family did ask Glendale police why the family was denied a missing persons report being filed until this week, but we were told the detective on the case is out until Monday, so they'll talk to them more about it next week. Sure, that sounds great. Missing person, the guy's not here. Let's just all reconvene next week and we'll talk about a missing woman, a vulnerable missing woman. We'll just go look at it next week. So blasé. If you have any information about the bizarre disappearance of Day, please call the Glendale Police Department. And there's a little video up here. It will go over a bit more of what I said, but it's good to hear from the people involved.
Every single hospital, every rehab center, they've contacted every police department. Like, they have done everything they can possibly do.
First tonight at 8, Glendale police confirmed they are investigating the disappearance of a missing woman following a new twist in the case. 30-year-old Cristelle Day is a Native woman and has been missing now for nearly 2 months.
Yeah, her family says they have spent months trying to get a missing persons report filed, only to be denied until they hired an attorney this week. True crime correspondent Brianna Whitney here now with the details. Brianna, what did you learn about this case?
Yeah, it's interesting. We know Cristelle Day told her family she had been a victim of domestic violence and was fearing for her safety, and then communication just dropped off around the new year. This case has bizarre twists and turns, though, including what happened to Cristelle's family late last night.
She's described as vibrant and bubbly, but Cristelle Day's disappearance has left her family with some of their darkest days.
6 or 7 weeks is a very long time for someone to be missing.
Darlene Gomez is an attorney for families that are part of the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Crisis, known as MMIW. Cristelle is a 30-year-old Native woman from Alaska, moving to Glendale, Arizona several years ago. Her family is still in Alaska, including her older sister, Amanda Togais, who told Darlene their family received a frantic Facebook message from Cristelle on December 22nd.
Saying she needed help ASAP, that she wasn't safe, and that he had been hurting her.
Her family says she was in an abusive relationship. They called police for a welfare check and were trying to get her a flight back home to Alaska. Glendale police reported Cristelle told officers she was okay, but her family believes she said that because her alleged abuser, her boyfriend, was next to her. At the end of January, Cristelle's boyfriend reached out to her sister.
He hadn't seen her in 3 weeks and he didn't know what to do and he needed help.
Nobody has heard from her or seen her since. For more than a month, Cristelle's family has been trying to file a missing persons report, but they claim they were told her case didn't meet the criteria. They retained Darlene Gomez as an attorney this week to help, and she immediately called Glendale police.
The family has tried to file 3 missing persons reports starting in January 31st, and they've not been able to do so. And we're already February 28th. So I would like to speak to someone about filing a missing person report on her.
A sergeant got on the phone with her.
You clearly waited enough time and things like that. So we will enter her as a missing person.
That call was on Wednesday, and Glendale police confirmed to me this is now an open and active investigation. Her family and Darlene then blasted social media with pictures and videos about her case, and unexpectedly late Thursday night, Cristelle's family receives a call from an unknown man.
Somebody did contact the family saying that they knew that she was alive. They were allowed to talk to her for a moment, but then she said that she, was busy and couldn't talk. So it's very, very suspicious.
Darlene says they don't know if that was artificial intelligence of her voice or if that really was her. But either way, they believe she's in grave danger.
It's not her. That is a well-known scam tactic. It's not her. I hate that they gave the family false hope or whatever. That is disgusting, though. It is not real. It is a scam. They want money. I'm surprised if they don't ring back in a few more days and try and get money out of the family. I want to know why the Glendale Police Department wouldn't take the missing person report for like 2 months. That's a long time for a vulnerable woman with a domestic violence history and of a native background to not get help from the police department. Aren't we supposed to give a little bit more attention to people with those qualifiers? Because, statistically, they're the ones who end up hurt or worse. So I'm very confused why they had to wait so long. You heard him on the phone. He was like, "Oh yeah, you've definitely waited very long now, and we could probably put a missing person report in now. I think that's fine. It's just no rush. Don't care. Don't care that this woman's been missing. Don't care that she reported domestic violence. It's all good. Like, can we get a little bit more urgency about a woman who obviously was trying to escape a bad situation? Come on. Something wrong there. Let's do better. Let's all do better.
She could be a victim of human trafficking. She could be held against her will. There's all these things that could have happened to her.
I did ask Glendale police why the family was denied a missing persons report being filed until this week, but they told me the detective on the case is out until Monday, so they'll talk to them more about it next week. Of course, if you have any information about the bizarre disappearance of Cristelle Day, please call the Glendale Police Department, guys.
Yeah.
If you have a blog out there, if you have a Twitter account or a Facebook account, if you can help share her story to help her family and help find Cristelle Day from Glendale, Arizona, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate it. Let's try and bring women home to their families instead of, being in these situations. I would really appreciate that. I'll put the link in the chat to her story and I'll try find a if I can find like a postery thing that you guys could use on Twitter, I will put it in the comments after the show, okay? Marlene Clausen said, I'm surprised they did not claim she was a runaway. Police have to take women in DV with more concern. I know. Did we learn nothing from the Gabby Petito incident? Did we learn nothing about just ignoring a woman with DV signs? We learned nothing, obviously. We learned exactly zero. Obviously, we haven't learned enough. That is frustrating. Very frustrating. Let's see what people are saying up here. Shell Huffman says, scammers crawl out of the woodworks. I know. Need a password to verify identity. Yeah, what you do is you guys have like a little code word, or a question. So you might be like, what are our family's secret cupcake recipe or something? And you'll be like, cookies and cream. And that's, only the people in your family would know the answer to that. Or you'd be like, what was our childhood pet called or something? Or what was your favorite blanket when you were a kid? Some little piece of information that only you and the person know, and make sure it's known that this is a security question for all of your safety. Or come up with like a little code word, like some random word, and that way you can also use it in a different way too. If you're in danger or you need help, you can use it as a way not to bring attention to yourself. So if you had a word like bubblegum, and you said, if you just send the word bubblegum in a sentence to your family or whatever, they'd be like, oh my God, they're in trouble. Okay, we know. Okay, we'll try and find you, turn on the phone tracking and we'll get to you. Like there's ways you can do things like that and help protect your family a little more. It's a great idea. Petunia said, what about the body parts found in Long Island? I haven't seen anything else. Body parts found in... Wait, what? Oh, they're saying that they suspect it to be gang activity. There were body parts without fingerprints found in Long Island. So there is a little bit of an update. They're also saying that they've now found 2 heads. 2 severed heads now. Yeah, that's interesting. They're saying they've now found another head and the arms belonging to the male victim. Neither of them had fingerprints. Ah, that's interesting. I'm just trying to find a source for this. Hold on. More body parts discovered. Let's have a look. It says an unidentified woman's head and arm were recovered. Her leg was early discovered sticking out of a pile of leaves. They also found a man's right arm after a young girl. Yeah, but there was another link that said they found even more body parts. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently I can't find a source for it, but they're saying that they've now found another head. They said police found 2 severed heads in a Long Island park. Yeah. Hold on. I found a source for it. Yeah. It says 2 severed heads discovered in same NY park where kids found man's arm as cops probe if MS-13 were involved. That's a gang if you don't know what that is. It says cops stumbled upon 2 severed heads in Long Island Park hours after other body parts were found nearby and now probing whether ruthless MS-13 gang is responsible. One of the heads as well as the right arm and leg are believed to be the same female victim, while the other head and 2 arms appear to be from the same man. The man's left arm at least still had tattoos but no fingerprints, which could mean the victim has a record and that perpetrators didn't want him identified through prints that could lead investigators to the killers. They're saying these were brutal, vicious murders. MS-13 has been known to hack up bodies with machetes. The bodies were found near where the gang has committed other crimes. The medical examiner will determine how and what they were cut up with. The first thing that probers have to do is identify the bodies, because that will tell them what direction to go in. Cops are hoping that the man's tattoos will help identify him. The first body part, there you go. Oh, hey guys, warning, like graphic warning. There's a photo here. There's the pixelated. They're trying to show you the tattoos. There's the tattoos if you know of the tattoos. So you can see it still had tattoos on it. Wow. You know, if I was a school kid and I found that, I would be traumatized. It says none of the remains appear to have been in the park for very long. Preliminary, it appears it's a matter of a small amount of days, if not hours. They're saying MS-13 has a stranglehold on Long Island and is notorious for its particularly brutal slayings and dismemberments. Wow. That is just scary. Jeez, now 2 heads. I never seen that the other day when we were talking about it. What are Ping's favorite Girl Scout cookies? I like Thin Mints. I don't know what they have anymore. I know they had a whole bunch years ago when I was looking at them. I like chocolate chip. Chocolate chip or caramel chocolate chip is like my all-time favorite. I like a lot of people. But they're all good. Like the peanut butter patties, they're great. Like, you know, what are the other ones they do? Like Do-si-dos, they're really good, and the caramel delights, and like I can't remember what we got last time. We had a friend send us like a whole box of them one time from America. I think she sent caramel delights or some Samoas, and Do-si-dos, chocolate chips, and some Thin Mints or something. I can't remember. But she's tagalongs. Yes, tagalongs. So they're all really good. Yeah, anything that's got chocolate and like some sort of filling would be amazing. We're pretty we got sweet tooth. Oh, do they? Walmart sell really good knockoffs. I wish they sold them down here as a knockoff. I'd buy them. Lisa says, I was afraid I'd find a body when I was a child. Too much alley news. Yeah. Which Lisa are you? Are you Aussie Lisa or different Lisa? Let me know. Kim68 says, I've never tried them, Ping, but I want some now. Do you guys want to see the thing for it quickly? We'll have a break from awful stories. Let's have a 2-minute break from awful stories and let's talk about cookies. So this is the different types they have. If you're Australian and don't know what this is, every February every year, the Girl Scouts Association in America, you know those girls that dress in the green and have the little uniform and that, they go around and they sell these as like a fundraiser. Is it February and March they do it? And it goes bonkers. They're at every shopping center, they're at every place, they door knock, they come to your home, they'll literally stalk you for your business. They want to get the highest ranked sales for their little club. So they want to sell as many cookies as they can. But yeah, this is interesting. This is a new one. Indulgent brownie inspired cookies topped with caramel flavored creme. Oh my god, don't tell me about that. If you know Ping, caramel is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. So don't show me that. Don't show that. That's very triple X rated. Don't show me that. But they got great ones. Like these are like lemon inspired, and these ones might have the lemon icing on the inside. These have got small ones. Like marshmallow and chocolate. These are pretty classic. These are tagalongs that have peanut butter on the inside. They're pretty good. They even do a gluten-free one now. Rich buttery cookies with sweet crunchy toffee bits. Isn't that great for people who are gluten-free? And then trefoils. These are like the original shortbread. These are pretty good. At one time, they sold these in Australia under Australian Girl Guides. So Girl Guides are sort of like Girl Scouts. They did actually sell these here, but this was the only flavor they had, and that's the only one you could get. And then Thin Mints, these are pretty good. These are mint chocolate. So there you go. These are pretty good too. These caramel delights, or depending what region you're in, they have different names. So I think if you're on like the East Coast, they're called caramel Samoas, and if you're on the West Coast, they're caramel delights. And then in different regions, these are called do-si dos, and then in another region, they're called peanut butter sandwich. I don't know why that is like that, but it just is. Like these ones are called peanut butter patties, but in other regions, they're called tagalongs. No idea. But I'm not American, I don't know. But yeah, they're all really good. So there you go. There's your cookie update with Ping. Yeah, they crush little Girl Scouts down and then they make cookies. Oh, what is it? What did she say? Marlene Clausen, where is she? That's so clever. So, I heard a story that Girl Scouts used to go around the college dorms and sell Girl Scout cookies to all the stoners because around like in the afternoon after classes, and they used to make a killing at the local universities. Apparently they'd sell hundreds of dollars every time. Hey, Hibiscus Ivy. Oh, thank you for the information. The names are based on the bakers depending on region. Thanks, Hibiscus Ivy. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. That's really nice of you to let us know. Oh, Tito Moss says, thanks a lot, Ping. We just ran out of all our cookies, but we do have one piece of delicious cheesecake left for tonight. Caramel is the best. It is. I agree, Woos. Caramel is the best thing in the world. I love caramel. You guys are funny. Hey, Lula. How are you? All right. Do you guys want another story? We stop talking about cookies? I mean, we can never stop talking about cookies. All right. All right. Do you guys want an update about Samantha Murphy? I have one for you. I have to update my payment details, apparently. Okay. It says here they've shifted their investigation. Apparently, they're going to start looking into mobile data of other people who were in the area at the time that she went missing. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Samantha Murphy was last seen on the morning of February 4th. She was going for a jog into the Canadian park, and she never came home. She was never seen again. No one has any clue where she is. There's been no items found of hers. They haven't found her phone. They haven't found any clothing. Nothing. She just went jogging on February 4th and then disappeared into thin air. But now they're saying people whose phones pinged from mobile towers covering the same zone that Miss Murphy was in the hours after she set off for her run at 7 a.m. are going to be looked at. So they're going to do like cell tower dragnetting, which in some places is illegal, but they are. So it's called like geofencing. That's sort of what they're going to do. They're going to geofence the area around where Samantha Murphy was last seen and on that day. So they're going to look for anyone in sort of like a small little area that pinged off the same tower. So they're going to see if they can find any clues by doing it that way. It is a very smart technique if you have no other leads. So I hope it brings some answers to this mystery because no one has any idea where she is. See, it says here, the Herald Sun understands the case remains a riddle for those officers after its first 29 days. Phone metadata has already played a significant role in the Murphy inquiry, which is being headed by members of the Missing Persons Squad and is currently the state's highest priority criminal investigation. And these are the areas that they're sort of all searched already, and they're still not found anything. About 10 days ago, they were searching the Mount Clear area up here, and this is the area where she was last seen on, or her data said there was some event that happened here about halfway through her jog. They said there was something different in her data. So that's like her heart rate, her speed of running, that type of thing. There's some event that happened when she got about the halfway mark. So they're trying to zoom in on that and figure out what happened. Now, they've been searching there for the last 10 days, and still, as far as the public is aware, nothing has been found. They've had hundreds of people go out there and try and search on their own. The police have had their own search crews out there as well, and nothing. Still no sign of Samantha Murphy. But I hear they are digging into the background of more people close to her, the family business. They're trying to just find whatever they can about where she might be. And if you didn't watch the Spotlight episode, you should. It was very interesting. Not Spotlight, Under Investigation with Liz Hayes. That was very interesting. Oh, yum. Did someone call her phone? I'm sure people have called her phone, and I think it's off. I think they said it went off very quickly after she went missing. Linda from Texas says Girl Scout cookies are all generic now, sold in dollar stores. Okay. Yes, other phones pinging in the same area at the same time. Yes. Oh, Kim, what did you think? Did you think it was good? I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't think they actually came to any new information, but I thought it did a good overview of the case, if that makes sense. Oh, I don't know. They would know by now. They would know by now if someone did that. They've already got her records. They've already got her records. So they would know that. Don't put those ideas in my head. Yeah, I think it provided just an overview and sort of some clues into what happened, but nothing concrete. All right. Let me see if I can find this other case. But other than that, guys, there's really not a lot about her. Where is my other link? Let's get to our next story. No more body parts. Okay. Where is it? Oh, apparently there is body cam footage of cult mum Lori Vallow's processing into the Arizona jail. Oh, we have to watch that. Footage obtained by KSAZ. It's an Arizona news station. We have to see this. Let's look at Lori Vallow gives up electronics after extradition. All right, let's have a look. I want to see Lori Vallow. What is she doing? They're not going to give us any sound. Okay. There's a lot of cops there just hanging around. Hoping that she doesn't just run away, I guess. Let's see. What is she going to do? Yeah. Let's follow.
Lori?
Oh, here we go.
So, remember, I kind of went over this with you. This is regarding your electronic items for your court documents. If you don't mind, we're going to be placing this into property as safekeeping, so you can release it to whoever you want to, legal, whatever. If you don't mind opening that, just so we can document what's inside. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing in the lid other than the foam. We have, looks like headphones, charging cable for the laptop. We have 2 hard drives with a connecting cable. Another connecting cable for, looks like, for the hard drives, is that correct? 2 flash drives. HP laptop. I'll just
on the box on the outside and it fell off.
I'll just leave it in. It's no big deal. Okay. Okay. And then you have some documents in here. These are notebooks. So you have another loose piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing else in there, correct? Okay. Yeah, right. All right. I'll go ahead and have you reseal that for me. Okay. This here is going to be your document. You can have your signature there. This is going to have the date, today's date, 11:30, because it's now after midnight. That's going to be the report number, your name, your booking number, incident number, and then who I am. Okay. I'll just go ahead and have you sign right there for me. So whoever this gets released to, they'll have to reference your name in this here. All right. So yellow says inmate copy. Okay. And then this here is all the legal paperwork that you had. All right. And then snack for tonight. The broken glasses, they want me to put those in the property, so those are going to go in there.
Did they give her a snack? Did I hear that right? They're like, here's a snack for tonight. That was pretty weird. And they're like, the broken glasses, we have to take those. Hey, Robbie. How are you, my friend? Good to see you here.
Okay.
I need those. They're different.
Stage.
Stage differently.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Always smiling like it's a pageant. I'm surprised she didn't wave like this on the goodbye. She's like, he said good luck, and she's like, I will, for world peace, bye. She's very like smirky and smiley. I don't know if that's just who she is or she's still in La La Land. She's nauseating. I know. She doesn't seem to ever take it seriously. It's almost like she's happy to be there because it's the Lori show. It's the Lori Vallow show, and she's like, they're all here for me. I am the central attraction of this, production. I am the celebrity here. She left her crown behind. Apparently so. Yeah, totally nuts. I think she's a little Fruit Loops still. I think she's they just got her like slightly above, competent, and they're like, yeah, that'll do. Let's put her to trial. We can't keep wasting time with this one. She's permanently broken. We just get her through the trial and sentence her. Are you guys still talking about sweets? Okay. It says here that footage was obtained body-worn camera footage from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, revealing some of Lori Vallow's intake process after she was extradited to Arizona from Idaho. Lori Vallow was sentenced to an Idaho prison in July 2023 for murdering her two children, JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, and conspiring in the death of Tammy Daybell, the first wife of Vallow's husband, Chad Daybell. Vallow is in the Estrella jail awaiting a new trial, accused of conspiring in the murder of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, and conspiring in the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux, her niece's ex-husband. Those Brandon Boudreaux documents, man, I will forever say that gives you the clearest insight into the way they operated and the way their thinking was. If you've ever read those police documents from it, they are bonkers. They really do tell you just the extent and the depravity of their actions and how just absolute freaking mental they all were. Just each sharing in their shared delusion of, oh, and you know, one of the 44,000, and you're a healer and a spirit, and the divine intervention of God will see you through. Like, it was bizarre. I mean, I'm all good with people having religion in their lives. Like, that's fine. It's great to have something you believe in that's higher than you. But this was a little different. It's just a goddess personality. So she has others. She has alters. Does she, Beth B? Like, you might be right. She's a fruitcake. Yeah. She's writing her script. Yeah, she definitely has main player like disorder, doesn't she? She always thinks she's the like main player in everything. Like she's the, you know, first person. Yeah, delusional. Kids were found June 9th, 2020. It feels like yesterday. It feels like yesterday that we watched that footage at that property. It doesn't feel like a moment has passed. Yeah, Chad's trial coming up in a couple of months or a month is really going to be interesting. Really going to be interesting. Let's have a look. Chad Daybell trial. So when is his trial? It's supposed to be soon, right? 2024. Thought it was like May or something. Let's have a look. When is... Oh no, April 1st, 2024. So yeah, about a month away. About a month away and we'll get to go to trial with Chad Daybell. Hey, Reby. Hey, Reby, you know, we tried to hang the poster and it fell. So we've got to get stronger Velcro sticky things. We've got to try find bigger ones. Yeah, we put like 8 around it and it still fell off overnight. So we've got to find something stronger to hold the new Nights with Ping poster in the background. Marlene Clausen says, Laurie is Jesus' former wife. Oh my God. Oh, my former father-in-law. Yeah. Yeah. If you've never read those documents, try and track them down on Reddit. They're very insightful. Well, because he is a fool. That's, you know, they had to do it. I mean, how can you pass up that opportunity? How can you pass up that ironic, you know, court day? Do you still need a new keyboard? Yeah, it will need to be replaced at some point, unfortunately. I don't know when, but it will be when it starts fully dying. At the moment, only the numlock, like the number key area, is dead. The rest of it's still working. The lights don't work in the number pad area don't work anymore. But it's my fault, guys. I'll deal with it. You know, we always talk about taking responsibility for your own actions, right? And I did something dumb. I have to fix it. You know, it's my fault. Got to take responsibility for what you do. Can we throw in to help you get a new one, Ping? Yeah, at some point. The thing is, I waited a long time to get it. Because at full price, they're super expensive. They're not cheap, and I waited for like a really good special on Amazon when it was half price, and I don't know when they'll do that again. Could be a year away. It could be less. I have no idea. Yeah, like right now, they're like $180 on Amazon. They're not cheap. So I'll wait until they have a special. Hopefully half price, and then I can grab it. Chad is adult, worse than a fool. I just wonder what's going to happen with his like all his literature. If he's found guilty of murder or conspiracy to murder, what happens to his literature? He'll never be able to make money from it again, right? Or he shouldn't be able to, because they won't be able to tell what parts of his writing were like part of the like based on the killings or his experiences with Laurie. You know, he would probably go to court and have that denied as like a proceeds of crime type thing. I'm very interested to know what happens to his literature should he be found guilty on all charges, which I suspect he will be. It'll be very interesting. Marlene Clausen said Chad is like Homer Simpson. A little bit, a little bit. Don't insult Homer. Yeah. Homer can work in a nuclear power plant. He's more like Mr. Potato Head. That's what I always call him, Chad Daybell. Mr. Potato Head. All right. I think I have another story. Hold on. What's it called? Okay, I know what it's called. I gotta ask myself sometimes, what is it called? Let's see. No. Okay, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Okay, we have to go back. Actually, we can cover this, actually. Hold on. Yeah, so people were talking about Brian Kohberger, and I can give you that update if you haven't heard it. We'll do that. We should be keeping more of a eye on this. Okay. So it says here, the judge overseeing the murder trial of Brian Kohberger, the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students in November 2022, once again failed to set a trial date Wednesday at a hearing in the case. Attempts to pin down the trial start at the Latah County Courthouse hearing quickly turned contentious, with the defense team arguing that more time was needed than what prosecutors wanted to offer because of the huge volume of discovery evidence expected from the state. Second District Judge John Judge and the Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson wanted to set March 3rd, 2025 as the beginning of the trial, but Ann Taylor, Kohberger's lead public defender, said that wasn't feasible. She suggested the trial begin in June 2025. What is 4 months or 3 months going to give you? Not only do we have a huge volume of information, the way I'm getting it is completely disorganized, and it's like if you wanted to play a 52 card pickup with 100,000 decks of cards and throw them in the air. I have to go figure out how to put them together. The law requires both sides to turn over evidence or relevant information that could be used in a trial through discovery, which is designed to prevent a trial by ambush, where one side doesn't learn of the other side's evidence or witnesses until trial. Taylor said the prosecution has not been quick to provide her with the information she has requested. She cited a number of supposed instances, including that multiple discovery reports referred to x-rays taken, but when she asked for them, the prosecution told her they didn't exist. Thompson said at Wednesday's proceeding that the prosecution has turned over more than 95% of discovery material to the defense. The judge ultimately agreed to Taylor's request that he not set a trial date until he decides whether or not to move the trial out of the county, a decision he said he hopes to make in May. So we may not find out until May now. Jeez. So the judge set a hearing for change of venue arguments for 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time on May 14th. So we're going to find out on May 14th whether they're going to take it out of county and maybe what day we're actually going to go to trial for Kohberger. Kohberger, 29, was arrested in late 2022 in the stabbing deaths of 4 students in the early hour mornings of November 13th 2022. The victims were seniors. It was Madison, Kaylee, Zana, and Ethan. Kohberger, a graduate student at the time at Washington State University in Pullman, was arrested about 7 weeks later at his parents' Eastern Pennsylvania house. He waived extradition and agreed to go to Idaho to face the charges. He's been held at the Layton County Jail without bail since January 4th, 2023. Apparently, members of the Goncalves family were in the courtroom Wednesday. They said they're feeling really anxious about tomorrow, but our family will continue to show up for every court date, they said on Facebook. The family will remain strong and united, and we will never give up. Thank you to everyone. You give us the strength and courage to continue this battle. When you draw out court cases like this and keep delaying and moving and delaying and moving and making uncertainty, it doesn't not hurt anyone. It's not a victimless thing. You're pushing these victims' parents and family members through just more turmoil and uncertainty. They don't know what plans they have to make to get to trial. It's really awful. I mean, you like when I teach you slang? Moon Shadow says we're paying millions of dollars for his defense team. I know. Unfortunately, it's a right, especially in a quadruple capital murder homicide case. The whole Red Like Wine says the whole case is confusing to me. How did no one else in the house hear screaming? 2 people in a bedroom he killed without anyone knowing. We'll find out at trial. We'll find out what evidence they have and how he did it, how they think he did it. Yeah, his writing is crap. Marylander says justice is moving slowly. It certainly is, and it's going to be a while. We're probably not going to go to trial until middle of 2025 for this one. So expect another year and a half of this type of article where they've, argue against something, then they move it, and then they postpone it, and then, they ask for more time. That could happen a few times. It happened in other cases like Laurie's, and we may have, a few delays, unfortunately. He did release a, what is this? Hold on. There's a document from Scribed. What is this? It says in the District Court of the 2nd Judicial District of the State of Idaho, in and for the Court of Later. The court orders any notice of defense of alibi must be filed no later than April 17, 2024. If the defendant intends to offer a defense of alibi, the notice must comply with the Idaho Code Section 19-1519 and shall state the specific place or places at which the defendant claims to have been at the time of the alleged offense and the names and addresses of the witnesses upon whom he intends to rely to establish such alibi. So it sounds like they're giving him a deadline for any alibi that he wants to go to trial with. And he has to have that alibi and the witnesses to corroborate that alibi in by April 17th, 2024. And then it says a hearing on the defendant's motion to change of venue will be heard on May 14th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then, they're saying that will be streamed live on the court's YouTube channel. There you go. It'll be a live stream. The deadline for the state's discovery to be turned over to the defense is September 6, 2024. The deadline for the defense's discovery to be turned over to the state, including mitigation, is January 9th, 2025. There you go. There's your latest update in the Kohberger case. And if I was Homer Simpson, I would have gone Kohberger and then thought of some sort of wacky burger and then gone, Kohberger. Let's see. Who's a Girl says, I live 10 minutes from Delphi. I thought about trying to go to the trial. You should. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting trial, and I think Delphi would be interesting. And to support the town and the family. I think that would be awesome of you. Also, Delphi. How about Delphi? Delphi is, yeah, moving very slowly too. I think that was the one I was trying to reference earlier, that it's going to be a while. Ah, damn it. Judge overseeing Delphi murder trial will not allow cameras. Far out. That is annoying.
The judge overseeing the Delphi murders trial will not allow cameras in the courtroom for the next hearing. The hearing is set for March 18th in Allen County. It's expected to focus on the conduct of the defense attorneys. The prosecutors want Richard Allen's attorneys held in contempt. Special Judge Francis Gull turned down 4 requests for cameras in the courtroom. That includes one filed by 13 News. Now, Allen is charged with killing Abby Williams and Libby German 7 years ago. Our cameras won't be allowed in the courtroom, but our team will be. You can see our coverage right here on.
There you go. No cameras at the next hearing for that trial. That is disappointing. I hope we don't go to the full trial and they say no cameras in the courtroom. That would be terrible. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, no cameras. Delphi, Judge Gull denied request for cameras at Richard Allen's 18th of the 3rd hearing in Allen County. I really hope that doesn't push into the big trial. Yeah. I think that one should be open to the public. With so much bad stuff that's happened through that trial and all the ups and downs that have happened, the transparency for that particular trial would be appreciated by the public and everyone else. Do you know what I mean? With so many calls of corruption and inside job and fake this and that, to have it open and everyone viewing the proceedings would provide that transparency. And I think that would help. Yeah, they'd just gone out and come back a couple of hours previously, so I think a lot of people will be interested to find out what that was, and I'm sure it's in the opening address of whatever when they do the trial. That'll be in the opening address. I'm sure it will be. And we all might just go, "Oh, okay, get it." Or we might all go, "What the hell?" We don't know yet. We'll find out. They've kept that one under wraps. They haven't really said what happened there, except that they were called at around 12 o'clock the next day. Wow, we've done a long show tonight. 1 hour and 48 minutes. Yeah, almost 1 hour and 50 minutes. That's a long Sunday show, everyone. Everyone's got to get to bed shortly. I want to thank Sean, for your donation for tonight's show. I really appreciate that. That is extremely kind of you. And I wanted to thank Robin Lane from the other day. I feel like I didn't say thank you to her. I don't know why, but I feel like I forgot her for some reason, and I didn't mean to. But Robin Lane, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, my voice held up for the most part tonight, which was nice to see. It was really nice to see that it wasn't. I think I'm getting a little bit better, and to be able to do almost a 2-hour show without my voice cracking too bad, that's pretty good. Oh, I did? Okay. I just had some weird thought in my head that I didn't. But thank you for your contribution. I appreciate it, Robin. Yes, good night, everyone. But you know what? Don't be sad. We're going to be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. And because it's a Monday, There'll be so much information. You may even get a late show tomorrow night. So you get 2 for the price of 1 tomorrow. So I will try. I've been doing the salt water thing, which has been helping get over this cold that I've had. Yeah, so don't be sad. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. It's always 9 p.m. on a weekday. And yeah, there'll be so many updates tomorrow. You watch. Monday morning, it's like a flurry of different news articles and updates on cases and blah, blah, blah. It goes crazy. If you haven't watched Cold Justice yet, go watch it. It was a really good episode, and we talked about that last night. All right, everyone. I got to go eat some lunch. I'm starving. I will see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Thanks, Moonlight View, wherever you are. See you later, everyone. And thanks to all the new subscribers. They're fantastic. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.